Welcome everyone to the March 24th, 2021 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. I am Candace Breyer, Chairperson of the Zoning Board of Appeals. This meeting is being held electronically to protect public health and safety due to the COVID-19 virus and to comply with orders issued by the Governor, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and/or the Washtenaw County Health Department. We intend to conduct this meeting similarly to an in-person meeting. However, please be patient if there are technical issues. The Zoning Board of Appeals is a 9-person volunteer board nominated by the mayor and approved by City Council. First, we will hear from Planning Services, represented tonight by John Barrett. Then the applicant or their representative will make their presentation. Applicants will have 5 minutes in which to make their presentation. Staff will keep time and will announce when 30 seconds are remaining. We may ask questions of either the city or the applicant. We will acknowledge any written comments received by the board. We will allow an appearing party to express their support or objections. Public comment will be via telephone only. To speak during any of the public comment periods, please call 206-337-9723 or toll free at 888-788-0099 and enter meeting ID 938-1648-1007. This information is also available on the published agenda in the public notices section of the city website and on the broadcast of this meeting on CTN Channel 16, AT&T Channel 99, and online at www.a2gov.org/watchctn. You need not have signed up in advance. In order to be called on to speak, callers must press *9 to raise their hand. Callers will then be called upon by city staff one by one using the last 3 numbers of their phone number. Upon being called on, callers will hear an audible announcement that the host is allowing them to speak. We ask that callers start by stating their name and address and speak from a quiet place and mute any background noise such as the television so that we can hear you directly. City staff will announce when callers have 30 seconds left of their 3-minute comment period. After 3 minutes, they will be placed on mute so that we can proceed to the next speaker. The board will discuss the appeal and formulate a motion to approve the appeal. 5 affirmative votes of the board will be required for an appeal to be granted. Finally, any qualified party who is aggrieved by a decision of the board can appeal that decision to the Washtenaw County Circuit Court on a timely basis. On to roll call. As a new item, we must now state that we are attending the meeting remotely, and please state the county, city, township, or village and state where you are attending the meeting from. So I am here. I'm attending the meeting remotely from Ann Arbor, Michigan, city of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Mike Daniel.
I'm here. I'm attending the meeting remotely from my basement, which is in Ann Arbor, Michigan, the city of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
All right. Dave DeVarty is a no. Chris Fraley is a no. Nicole Eisenman.
I am attending the meeting remotely from the city of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Todd Grant.
I am also attending the meeting remotely from the study in my home in Northeast Ann Arbor, despite the appearances of my virtual Zoom background.
Elizabeth Nelson.
I'm attending remotely from the city of Ann Arbor.
Charlotte Wilson.
I'm attending remotely from the city of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
And Julia Good. All right, moving on to approval of the agenda. Do I have any comments on the agenda or a motion to approve the agenda? A motion from Mike, support?
Support.
From Charlotte, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, moving on to approval of minutes. We have minutes from the February 24th, 2021 ZBA meeting. Are there any comments or corrections to those minutes? If not, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Nicole. I have a motion. Do I have support? Support from Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, moving on to public hearings. The first item is petition ZBA 21-008-903 East Huron Street. I will note that this petition has been withdrawn, so the ZBA will not be, an applicant will not be presenting, the ZBA will not be discussing or voting on this petition. So if there is anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this petition, since it has been public noticed, we can hear your comment. But again, this petition's been withdrawn, so the ZBA will be taking no action on this agenda item.
No callers.
All right, thank you, Kristen. Moving on to petition ZBA 21-009-809 3rd Street. John?
All right, 809 3rd Street. Letty Keelman and Dane Weeb, property owners, are requesting relief from section 5.32.2, alteration to a non-conforming structure. The owners are proposing to construct a second story that will include 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a mechanical room. The property is a non-conforming single-family residence and is zoned R4B multiple family dwelling. The subject property is within the Old West Side neighborhood, due east of Worcester Park. The residence was built in 1940 and is approximately 924 square feet in size. The property is non-conforming as it does not meet the required 12-foot side yard setbacks. The structure is 7 feet 8 inches and 10 feet 6 inches from the north and south side lot lines respectively. The proposed construction will meet the average front yard setback and the rear yard setback. The new second-story addition is required to meet the 30-foot maximum height requirement as well. Can everyone see my screen? The first slide is the zoning map. You see the highlighted subject parcel in the center of the screen in yellow. The next slide is the area map showing the existing conditions in surrounding neighborhoods. The next slide is the zoomed in aerial photo of the subject property. And you can see that, as I stated earlier, the 2 side yard setbacks on the north side and south sides of the lot are not meeting the 12-foot side setbacks. When the proposed construction of a second story goes on the exact same footprint, that will also not meet the side setbacks, but there will be no further encroachment into any setback. The next slide is the survey that was submitted with the application, and you can see right here it's indicated where they do not meet the side setbacks. The next slide is the first floor plan and the second floor plans as proposed. As I stated, the second floor plan will have the 3 bedrooms and a bathroom and a mechanical room. The next slide are the elevations that are being proposed, and you can see from the all 4 elevations what the finished product is proposed to look like. The next slides are the photos of my inspection and the existing conditions of the property. These are the front elevations of the home, and you see adjacent properties. This is the driveway looking down the subject property. You see the garage in the rear yard and the adjacent property next door to the south. Just another photo of the existing conditions. And this is the north side of the house. This is the rear yard of the home. There is quite a bit of sloping topography. There's a very large grade elevation change, and you see the multifamily apartment complex abutting the subject property in the background. And this is looking directly at the rear of the home. As I said, it's somewhat a little bit difficult to get photos from the backyard because there is such a large elevation change. I can take any questions at this time.
Thank you, John. Any questions for staff? No? All right. If the petitioner is ready, you may begin your presentation. You'll have 5 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dane Weeb, and my wife, Letty Kielman, and I are the homeowners of the subject property. I first want to just thank you all for taking the time to review our application and to John for his thorough overview of our project. I want to just take a few minutes to provide some additional information on why we want to renovate our home. My wife and I first purchased the home in 2009 when she moved here to pursue her doctorate. After she graduated in 2016, we decided to stay because we couldn't find a better city to live in and raise a family than Ann Arbor, especially the Old West Side. We have a 2-year-old son and are expecting another son this summer. With our growing family, however, we are outgrowing our current house and need additional space. That's when we began exploring the possibility of an addition. Increasing the existing footprint of our house is not practical, which is why we decided on a second-story addition. We worked with our architect, Ed Weir, to develop a plan that meets our needs and blends seamlessly into our neighborhood. Multiple houses on our street have recently constructed second-story additions, and our proposed design would complement the existing character of the street. We have letters from 8 of our immediate neighbors voicing their support for our project. Perhaps most importantly, our 2 adjacent neighbors, which are the ones impacted by the side setback, have written letters of support. Based on our conversations with our neighbors and these letters of support, we believe that our proposed addition will not have a detrimental effect on the neighboring properties and will rather have a beneficial impact on the neighborhood overall. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any questions for the petitioner? All right, seeing none. If there's anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this petition, please call in now. Once you've called in, please press *9 to raise your hand, and you will be called on to speak by the last 3 digits of your phone number.
No callers.
All right, thank you, Kristen. We are in discussion. Yeah, Charlotte, go ahead.
Oh, there we go. Just had to unmute myself. I think that this really meets the criteria as far as not having a detrimental impact. So this is a really easy yes for me. But I would appreciate hearing from any other board members.
Todd, go ahead.
I agree with Charlotte's thinking, and also just add a little tiny little bit to it. The second story is not going to encroach any further into the setbacks. It's going to be within the same envelope. So I agree with Charlotte. This is an easy yes for me too.
Any other discussion? Are we ready for a motion?
I can make a motion. Oh, sorry, John.
Sorry, John, what was that?
Did you want to read off the correspondences?
Oh,
Okay.
yes, I can. Let me find it. I have too many tabs open here. Hold on one moment.
I know we had quite a few for this petition.
Yes, let me see here.
If you can't find them, I think we'd just say that I think there was 9 that were in favor.
Yeah, so it looks like there is one letter of support here from Neil Kessler at 808 3rd Street. Let's see. No, not this one. This one looks like a letter of support from Sue Ann Savas at 804 3rd Street. And And yes, there are 6 additional letters here, all of support. This looks like from 807 3rd Street, 811 3rd Street, 815 3rd Street, 810 3rd Street, 814 3rd Street, 816 3rd Street. I believe that's all of them. And Nicole, were you ready to make a motion?
I am.
Perfect, thank you.
All right. So this is regarding ZBA 21-009, 809 3rd Street, alteration to a non-conforming structure. The Zoning Board of Appeals hereby grants relief from section 5.32.2, alteration to a non-conforming structure to allow a second-story addition to the existing residence that will include 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a mechanical room. The new construction will not encroach any further into any of the required setbacks.
Thanks, Nicole. I have a motion, support from Charlotte. All right, Nicole,
Yes.
Charlotte,
Yes.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
I also vote yes. Todd,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
the request is granted.
Thank you all very
Moving-
much.
Yep, thank you. Moving on to petition ZBA 21-0101 Harvard Place. John?
Okay. Timothy Risk, representing the property owners, is requesting relief from section 5.32.2, alteration to a non-conforming structure. The owners are proposing a 663 square foot addition to the existing non-conforming residence that will not meet the required 40-foot rear yard setback. The addition will include a master bedroom, a bathroom, a closet, laundry room, and a hallway. The property is zoned R1B single family dwelling. The subject property is located on the north side of Geddes Road in the Angel neighborhood. The residence was built in 1947 and is approximately 1,840 square feet in size. The property is non-conforming as it does not meet the minimum lot size for the district, and the home does not meet the required 40-foot rear yard setback. The addition is proposed to be on the north side of the lot, which serves as the side yard for the property. The new addition will not encroach further into this rear yard setback than the existing residence currently does. Give me 1 second here. There we go. The first slide is the zoning map. You see the highlighted parcel in yellow in the center of your map. And this is Geddes Road running along here, and it's just to the north. And the Arb is this large white open space. The next slide is the location map showing existing conditions and surrounding neighborhoods. And the next slide is the zoomed in aerial photo with the proposed addition on the north side of the lot in this area right here. And you can see how the home is positioned, that it doesn't meet the required rear yard setback of 40 feet. This is the survey that was submitted with the application. And the next slide is showing the proposed addition of 663 square feet on the north side addition to the existing residence. This is the existing residence right here and the attached garage. And the setback line actually runs right through, bisects the home. And you see this portion of the addition in darkened, shaded in area, not meeting the rear setback. But it doesn't encroach any further than the existing, so therefore it's an alteration to a non-conforming structure. Just another site plan showing the existing conditions, and the portions of shaded area are the areas that are encroaching into the rear yard setback. Another site plan just showing the proposed addition in this area that's not meeting that rear yard setback. This will be a deck that doesn't need any action from the board. The floor plan showing the the master bedroom and the bathroom, hallway, closet, and the laundry room. This section all right here. The next slides are conceptual designs of the proposed addition right here. And then there's the deck that was discussed earlier. Just more photos from the street of what the proposed addition will look like. And these are the photos that I took when I visited the site. You see the front of the house. And you see the adjacent neighbor to the north. And this is the side yard area where the addition will go. Looking directly at the north side of the house where the proposed addition is to be. Another view of the proposed area where the proposed addition is going to be located. And that's looking directly from the residence down towards the abutting property, adjacent property. I can take any questions at this time.
Thank you, John. Any questions? Elizabeth, go ahead.
So it's a 40-foot setback, but it doesn't look like most of the houses on that street are meeting that, or are they? Like, what's the average setback?
Give me 1 second. Can I come back to that question?
Sure.
Are there any other questions for John? All right, if the petitioner is ready, you may begin your presentation. You'll have 5 minutes.
Hi, my name's Timothy Risk. I'm an architect with Metal Arc Builders in Ann Arbor. I'm here representing the homeowners at 1 Harvard Place in Ann Arbor. The homeowners approached Metal Arc requesting a design and feasibility study for an expansion of their home, which is a bungalow, to support their growing family and so that they would not need to leave the home that they love in Ann Arbor. They also work from home and are trying to utilize some of the existing space that they have, the limited space that they have for home office space. And they also have a desire to age in place in this home. So they requested a first floor master suite so that if in the future there were any medical conditions, they would have a first floor residence to use. There was also a desire to keep the addition just a main floor addition without doing a substantial second floor addition, raising the height of the building. They're already at the top of the hill and wanted to maintain the character of the street and the other houses around them. So with our guidance, we recommended a first floor addition. So John did a great job. Thank you, John, for highlighting all of our documents. There are a couple things I just wanted to say. First of all, the grade does slope down kind of considerably to the north, and there's also that wooded area to the north between 1 Harvard and 3 Harvard, which is the house to the north, and I believe that it does not meet the rear setback requirement either. We wanted to maintain the trees as much as possible so that we could maintain that buffer, and also just because we don't like cutting trees down. But also, if we were to try to stay within the very narrow setback on the site plan, we would be basically encroaching an area that the grade was very, very low, and we'd have to add fill and build on top of that. So that's why we designed it the way we did. The other thing that's important to note is that there's a new stairway in this addition going down to the basement. So the new addition will also attach to the basement. Right now, the stairs in the home that lead to the basement don't meet code at all. It's actually, as soon as you open the door, there's like the stairs going upstairs are kind of right at head height, and they're very steep and dangerous. So that was another thing that we wanted to do, was add stairs to the basement that would be code compliant. And then lastly, it came to our attention that we were looking at the Unified Development Code for Ann Arbor in Chapter 55 we were looking at other properties in the area, trying to get an idea of what sizes the parcels were and what the setbacks were for other parcels in the area. And we realized that even though this is zoned R1B, the minimum lot area for R1B zoning district is 10,000 square feet. And this lot is only 8,600 square feet total. And so if it were to be considered for rezoning, it would actually meet the R1C requirement, which is a minimum of 7,200 square feet. And in that case, R1C, the rear yard setback is 30 feet. And in that case, the addition would meet the requirement for the rear yard setback. So I just thought I'd bring that up as well. Thank you very much for considering our proposal, and have a great night.
Thank you. Any questions for the petitioner? All right. If there is anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this petition, please call in now and raise your hand. Once you have been called on by city staff, please press *6, I believe, to unmute yourself, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. In the meantime, I will note we did receive several letters of support for this petition. We have a letter of support from, looks like Carol Segal at 3 Harvard Place. A letter of support from Gail Whittier Ferguson. A letter of support from Jennifer and Zachary Yates at 2021 Geddes Avenue. A letter of support from Parag Patil at 2037 Geddes. A letter of support from 6 Harvard Place. And I believe that's it, all of them.
If there are any, since there's no callers, I can answer Council Member Nelson's question now. The property right here is 2021 Geddes. That's their rear yard. They do not meet the 40 feet. The property directly to the north, which is 3 Harvard Place, does not meet the required rear yard setback. And then to the north, the next 2 properties, 5 and 7 Harvard Place, also do not. So the subject property is surrounded by other properties that all don't meet the required rear yard setback.
Thank you, John. With that, we are in discussion. Or perhaps ready for a motion.
I can, oh, go ahead, Todd.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm preempting what everybody's thinking, I'm sure, but I have one little thing to add. This is, in my mind, this is proceeding very much like the last one. The addition is not going to encroach any further into the setbacks. I thought Mr. Risk did a very good job. And I just couldn't help noticing that this has to be the coolest street address in the city, 1 Harvard Place. I think, though, there might only be one that's better. There is an Easy Street next to Cobblestone Farm, and I've thought seriously over the years of moving to Easy Street, or we're still working on it. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Any other discussion or yes, Nicole?
I'd just like to commend Mr. Risk as well for his documentation. I think it was very easy to read and understand how the setbacks and how this project would not conform, but clearly understanding how it doesn't. Thank you.
Charlotte.
I'm prepared to make a motion unless anybody else has any other comments.
I think we're ready. Thanks.
ZBA 21-010, 1 Harvard Place, alteration to a non-conforming structure. The Zoning Board of Appeals hereby grants relief from section 5.32.2, alteration to a non-conforming structure, to allow a 663 square foot addition that will include a master bedroom, bathroom, closet, laundry room, and hallway. The addition will not encroach further into the rear setback than the existing residence.
Thank you, Charlotte. Do we have support? Support from Nicole. I vote yes. Todd.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
Charlotte.
Yes.
Nicole.
Yes.
The request is granted.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Moving on to petition ZBA 21-011, 920 Greenwood Avenue. John?
Rob Fowler, representing the property owner, is requesting relief from section 5.32.2, alteration to a non-conforming structure. The existing residence is a non-conforming 6-bedroom single-family residence. The owner is proposing a 3rd story to the existing 2-story structure. The bedroom count will not change and remain at 6. The property is zoned R4C, multiple family dwelling, and does not meet the requirements of the lot area and lot width for the district. The subject property is located on the south side of Greenwood Avenue, east of Packard Road. The home was built in 1910 and is approximately 1,120 square feet in size. The lot area is 2,439 square feet and does not meet the minimum 8,500 required lot size. The residence does not meet the required rear yard setback of 30 feet as well. The owners intend to maintain the single-family status of the existing rental home, and the intent of the new 3rd floor is to increase the size of common areas and bedrooms. The basement area is to be finished and intended to be a recreation room with accommodating bathroom. The area is not permitted to be a 7th bedroom. The new 3rd story must comply with the 30-foot height limit for the R4C district. The first slide is the zoning map, and it shows the existing or the subject property highlighted in yellow in the center of your screen. The next slide is the location map showing the existing conditions surrounding neighborhoods. And the 3rd slide is the zoomed in area photo map of the existing property. This is the survey that was submitted with the application. These are the existing front and side elevations and existing rear and left side elevations. Existing basement, which you see is currently just a basement, no bedrooms, no bathrooms. The existing 2nd floor has 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. The existing 1st floor has 1 bedroom, the kitchen and living room, and porches. The new 1st floor will remain with 1 bedroom and improved renovations. The new 2nd floor, again, will have 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. And the new third floor will have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom for a total of 6. And the new basement showing a bathroom and a rec room area. These are the proposed new front and side elevations with the 3rd story added. And more of the same of the new elevations. And this is the cross section of the home, and the applicant has shown that it's going to be 28 feet to the midpoint of the gable, and it can be 30 feet to the midpoint of the gable. The next slide is the inspection photos and front elevation of when I took my made my inspection. The street is famous for having shoes hanging from the utility wires. And this is the side elevation of the home and the driveway. This is the rear elevation of the home. And this is the north side of the home. I can take any questions at this time.
Thank you, John. Any questions? All right. If the petitioner is ready, you may begin your presentation. You'll have 5 minutes.
Thank you. This house with 6 bedrooms, it only has 1 bathroom. So in order to remodel it, to give it ample bathrooms, we would lose much of the common area that we need. So we want to just stretch this out a little bit. We want to put 4 bathrooms in this house, and we'll still keep it 6 bedrooms. So parking won't be affected. This area is primarily student housing now. So as far as affecting the neighborhood, I don't see any impact. So we just want to make this a better house for the students. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the petitioner? All right. If there is anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this petition, please call in now. Once you've called in, please press *9 to raise your hand, and staff will call on you based on the last 3 digits of your phone number. I'll note quickly that we did not receive any correspondence regarding this petition.
No callers.
Thank you, Kristen. We are in discussion. We're ready for a motion if there's no discussion.
I can make a motion.
All right, thanks.
I do want to state, as an architect, I feel like I'd be remiss with to not note the bit of disappointment with the front elevation of the building. It's just the composition is a little bit lacking. But I will make the motion. I just need to find the motion sheet. Just a second. All right, this is regarding ZBA 21-011, 920 Greenwood Avenue, alteration to a non-conforming structure. The Zoning Board of Appeals hereby grants relief from section 5.32.2, alteration to a non-conforming structure to allow a 3rd-story addition to the existing residence that will include 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. The new construction will not encroach further into the existing setbacks, and the residence is to remain single family.
Thank you, Nicole. Do we have support? Support from Mike. Thank you. Mike.
Yes.
Nicole.
Yes.
I also vote yes. Elizabeth.
Yes.
Todd.
Yes.
Yes.
The request is granted.
Thank you very much. And we will, we'll work on the front elevation, make it a little more appeasing. I agree. We'll do some more work with the windows to pretty it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving on to petition ZBA 21-012, 231 South State Street. John?
Zach Kartak, representing the property owners, is seeking a variance from section 5.24.5 permanent signs in order to install 24.28 square feet of new signage. The maximum sign area allowed for this property is 200 square feet. The request will increase the total signage to 214 square feet along the existing State Theater signage, along with the existing State Theater signage. The property is zoned D1 Downtown District and is within the State Street Historic District. Subject property is located on the east side of the intersection of South State Street and East Liberty Street in the downtown area of the city. Construction began on the Art Deco State Theater in 1940, and it originally opened in 1942. The applicants are proposing the following types of signs: a 6.28 square foot sign panel above the main entrance, a 16 square foot bullseye sign adjacent to the entrance, and a 2 square foot pedestrian sign attached to the underside of the canopy. The existing signage for the theater is 189.72 square feet. The D2 Downtown District allows a maximum of 200 square feet of signage for this subject property. Can everyone see my screen? The first slide is the zoning map. You see the highlighted parcel. It's just east of, on the east side of South State Street, and there's Liberty. There's the intersection. Next slide is the location map showing surrounding properties and existing conditions. And the next slide is the zoomed in aerial photo of the subject property. The next slide is the survey that was submitted with the application. And the next slides were submitted by the applicant showing the existing State Theater signage at 189.72 and the proposed 6.28 square foot entrance sign for the new retail business right here, the 16 square foot bullseye adjacent to the entrance, and then a 2 square foot sign that will be underneath the pedestrian canopy. These are photos of the subject property that were submitted with the application, and you can see the proposed signs superimposed onto the existing elevation. These other bullseyes will be on the windows and glass, and they do not count as signage as long as they're under the 25% of the glazing. The next slides are from what I took when I was at the site taking photos in my inspection. And you see above the main entrance, this is where one of the signs will be for the main entrance, and then again the bullseye, and then the pedestrian sign. Just more slides showing the subject property and existing signage. I can take any questions that you may have at this time.
Thank you, John. Any questions? Elizabeth?
I think I need you to show me, to have that slide up with the distinction between the window decals versus the signs again, and identify which are the ones again that we're actually, yeah, this is the picture. Which ones are we looking at now? So that one?
This one, the target above the front doors. And then there's going to be an under the canopy, a little 2 square foot sign that attaches underneath.
2 square feet. That's very small.
Yeah.
What are the dimensions of that?
The only thing, other property that I can relate it to, you know, where Westgate Shopping Center is, when you walk underneath the canopy.
Oh,
there, they
those
have-
little things. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
It's an under the canopy pedestrian sign. So you really can't see it from this elevation, but it's right there and it's going to be up underneath the canopy.
So is it going to be running perpendicular to the sidewalk? Like it's, I mean, as you're walking, or yeah, okay.
It'll face pedestrians. It'll flow with the pedestrians, but it'll be perpendicular to the building.
I gotcha. Okay. Okay. Thanks. That Westgate comparison was exactly right. So that helped me figure it out.
Yes, Todd, go ahead.
John, just to get this in the meeting, I emailed you inquiring what square footage Urban Outfitters had at this building, the decades they were there. And you can say it better than I can, but you confirmed that they knuckled under to the 200 square foot limit. So they had a very small sign because most of it was taken up by the State Theater. That's correct, isn't it?
Yes, I found an old archived building permit for Urban Outfitters that was 11 square feet. And with the existing signage at 189, that's how they came in at 200. But this request is for just 14 square feet over the 200.
Any other questions for John? All right, if the petitioner is ready, you may begin your presentation. You will have 5 minutes.
Hi, I'm Zach Hartek, Senior Development Manager with Target. With me tonight is Heather Sexton, the project architect for both the interior and exterior signage that we're proposing. I'm going to go ahead and, not able to share my screen, but as John accurately described, there's the 189 plus square feet for the State Theater, which takes up the majority of the allotted 200 square feet per code. We're asking for 24 square feet of signage, which would put it over by 14 square feet. If John could share that image, what we refer to as a blade sign, the pedestrian sign, it's 1 foot by 1 foot 5 inches square, and it was shown on the rendering a little bit farther to the left of on the left side, right there. Yep. The other, as he mentioned, the other signs will be window clings, subject to the 25% code allowance. For context, we did review this with the Historical Design Commission. We were in an effort to get some additional signage. However, with the marquee and herringbone pattern above, with that all being historic, that was not approved.
But what was requested tonight was approved.
Correct.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions for the petitioner? All right, if there is anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this petition, please call in now. Once you have called in, please press *9 to raise your hand. Once staff calls on you, you will have 3 minutes to speak.
No callers.
Thank you, Kristen. I will note that there were no written correspondences in our packet either. So with that, we are in discussion. Todd.
Yeah, picking up on my earlier comment. So I've been weighing pros and cons in this. In favor, I think, of granting the variance is that it is only 7% over. It's only 14 square feet. And part of me thinks like the Greyhound bus sign in town or the marquee on the Michigan Theater, it's almost a historical monument in town, to exaggerate a little bit. And in one sense, it seems a little unfair to have them knuckle under a historic monument size because nobody really wants to see the State Street Theater or the Michigan Theater sign removed. But I think, I was mulling it over during the discussion, the presentation, I think I'm going to vote against this. And for the following reasons. It is only a little bit over. It's a little bit, which means it could shrink. That's number one. Number two, as I mentioned earlier, Urban Outfitters had to live within the 200 square foot total limit, and they were not a very well-known chain. Target is probably one of the top 2 or 3 best known chains in the country. It's amazing they're doing this. And going along on that, the third reason is, if this were a car traffic, you'd need a bigger sign. But they're going to have hundreds, and over the course of semester, tens of thousands of students walking by this building. Within a week of the start of any semester, students on campus are going to know that this is where Target is. They don't need to schlep down Ann Arbor Saline Road or wherever it is. It's right here. Target doesn't even need a sign. They could just do the red bullet, and that would draw people in. So putting all those things together, one part of me, it sounds like a curmudgeon here, but I think what's most important in my thinking is that Urban Outfitters live with it. If they could live with it, Target certainly could live with it. They're going to sell a lot of stuff here, and it's nice to have this on campus. But I'm reluctantly, I'm going to have to vote no on this.
Thanks, Ted. I'll, I guess, echo some of your comments. I had very similar concerns and thoughts about this. On the one hand, as you mentioned, it is only slightly over. So on one hand, you think, okay, it's just a little bit, it'll be okay. But then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, is it really that necessary? And considering the window signage as well, that for me is kind of what tips the scale against the variance. I think having the sign above the door, having the blade sign, having the bullseye on the outside, plus the additional bullseyes in the window, it seems like there's more than enough signage there to reduce the size down and fit within what's required. So that's kind of where I'm at.
To say it in terms of the criteria, our fifth criterion is this the minimum they need to make good use of the site? They don't need the extra 14 square feet. They just don't.
Elizabeth, go ahead.
I just want to echo a lot of what Todd and Candace said. I was thinking the same thing that Candace was thinking in terms of the window signage and the logo being so identifiable as to what it is. And to Todd's point, it is true that nobody is going to drive by this Target and be like, oh, quick, I need to stop there. It's not that kind of a signage for road traffic. Once you look at the rendering and you realize like how much signage they're going to be able to put in the windows and how identifiable it is, it just seems like there's no reason to make this variance. So I'm going to be inclined to vote no.
Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I guess I'm limited to 3 on this, but Elizabeth, since you talked, maybe there's a way for the city council to consider historic signs. I mean, I'm thinking, for example, the Greyhound bus sign. The classic one is the Citgo sign in Kenmore Square in Boston. There are just some signs that perhaps because of their historical importance should be taken out of we're going to count the square footage toward the sign requirement criteria. The city council has lots of things they're thinking about, but people would be very unhappy if they got rid of the State Theater sign.
Is that even on is anyone even talking about that?
I just did.
Well, no,
No,
I guess my point is would Target be so mad that they would say like, we need 200 square feet of signage and so we're going to rip down the marquee? I mean, that isn't really going to happen, is it?
Well, we could ask I don't think they own the building, do they? Maybe they do.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Don't. But, maybe there must be a historic monuments area of the city. Not really being very articulate, but it seems to me some signs of longstanding prominence, decades old, deserve maybe a different consideration than the sign that's put up with the turnkey development project.
Well, I guess to that that point, I would push back a little bit and say that I actually prefer that the dominant sign in that building be the State Theater, and rather than it being littered with a bunch of Target bullseyes, because I mean, this is going to be a really, really popular location for so many people to shop at. I don't think they're going to have any trouble having people know where they are at all.
Can I jump in to answer one of your questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we do not own, we're leasing the lower level space.
Thank you.
Zach, I'm sorry, my dog started barking when you were talking. I'm assuming you talked about our last meeting with this group and how we had canopy signage that was not approved.
Yep, I mentioned that the historical committee did not approve that.
Panel left of the door is the ones, really the only sign you can see from the south as you're driving down. And I don't have the map in front of me, sorry, but that was why we had that one place there, because it was in direct view of that street.
Yeah, I think it's at Liberty, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
we kind of look at it as coming into a new space. Yes, there are a lot of students that will know where we are, but with it being a college campus, there are a lot of camps and different things going on in the summer, and to help provide visibility to people that aren't as familiar with the area.
And parents that are coming to visit and looking for the Target.
All right. Is there any other discussion, or are we ready for a motion?
I'm prepared to make a motion.
Thank you.
ZBA 21-012-231 South State Street variance. Based on the following findings and in accordance with the established standards for approval, the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby grants the following variance from Chapter 55, Unified Development Code, Section 5.24.5, permanent signs. A variance to allow a 14 square foot variance to allow 3 permanent signs to the existing State Theater. The total signage for the property will increase to 214 square feet overall.
Thank you, Charlotte. Do I have support? Support from Mike. Thank you. Todd.
No, sorry, no.
Nicole.
No.
Mike.
No.
Charlotte.
No.
Elizabeth.
No.
I also vote no. The request is denied. Moving on to unfinished business, we have none. We've addressed all of our new business and communications. Public commentary. If there is anyone from the public who wishes to speak to the ZBA regarding any matters that we have not already discussed, please call in now and press *9 to raise your hand.
No callers.
Thank you, Kristen. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion from Elizabeth, support from Charlotte. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
See you next month.